Do you want to see my garden update? Are you sure? Well, you gotta see it anyway. Hey everyone, just a midweek update. This is Wednesday, February 29th. I came into work this morning and oh my gosh, I was missing a tomato plant. I was like, huh? Where did the thing go? And it actually fell on the floor from all the weight. The string I was using was too thin for the plant clips, and they weren't gripping onto it properly, and the whole thing fell to the floor. So now I have to upright it and see what my damages are. At least you can see there that the main stem didn't crack, but I'm sure I'm gonna find lots of cracked branches in there, which is it's a shame because I had so many flowers on this one. Well, let's see what I can do. Okay, here we are, 4 days after my tomato disaster. I uprighted the plant. There was no major damage and it seems to have recovered. So, good thing with that. Let me give you an update what's going on here. First of all, I'm going to change that light bulb here on the left so you don't have to look at yellow plants and show more of a true color of them. So, here we go. Alright, just took out my high pressure sodium bulb that I was using for flowering on the tomatoes and replaced it with a metal halide so things look a little bit more pleasant and more green. So let me give you a closer look at what's going on here. Okay, first off I'll show you my Van Wert, Ohio tomatoes. They're heirlooms and loaded with flowers right now, and actually I'm starting to get some tomatoes on them. Our first tomatoes for 2012, and I'll give you a closer look at what's going on here. Alright, what you're looking at here is my first tomato of 2012. This is a Van Wert, Ohio heirloom tomato, and I pollinated it by the buzz pollination method, which you saw in my other videos. And let me show you how you can tell if a tomato is pollinated or not by just looking at the petals around it. So here we go. Alright, one way to tell if your tomato flowers are pollinated correctly is this part here. This green part outside of the yellow flower is called the sepal. If the sepal spreads open like a starfish, then you know you have a tomato on the way. It usually takes maybe 2 or 3 days after you hand pollinate the tomato flower. Alright, here's a tomato flower that was pollinated a few days ago, and as you can see the sepal petals have spread out. That one's about to have a tomato. Here's another example of the sepal spreading out when the tomato comes out, and as you can see here, the ones that don't have tomatoes are pretty well closed. Alright, just a quick update on my hydroponic bell peppers and hydroponic jalapeno peppers. Here is a bell pepper flower, just starting to come up, but no flowers on the hydroponic jalapeno peppers. But this plant back here is having a couple buds too. So I guess in a couple weeks we'll have some flowers to pollinate. Well, for my cucumbers, I think I'm going to start over with a new cucumber, probably a different kind. This one suffered from the potassium deficiency and along with the root rot. And every time I pollinate one, it doesn't take off. Here you can see a little one. But they did recover a little bit. The newer leaves look good, so I know what to do next time. And I think I'll choose a cucumber that is more compact. This one's almost to the ceiling now. Well, once again, I'm not using my lemon basil as fast as I need to because it's gone to seed. So I'll have a whole new batch of fresh seeds for my next crop. And let me show you what's going on in my kitchen with the AeroGarden and the tomatoes in there. Okay, now an update for my tiny Tims in the AeroGarden. You can see how big they are now. And I'll put a little picture in the corner to show you how big they were on February 5th. So this is about 30 days since that picture was taken. What you're looking at are my first Tiny Tim tomatoes of 2012. And each flower seems to be pollinating well because it's turning into a tomato. And I have lots of tomatoes throughout here. One thing I did was change the light bulbs out from the 42 watt to 68 watt, and these are 2700K for blooming. And alright, I did have a problem with the AeroGarden. My pump blew out for the second time now, and I didn't want to mess with the plants, so I stuck a air pump with an air stone to turn it into a deep water culture AeroGarden. and when these plants are done, I'll replace the pump. Well, that's all I have for you, so take care, everybody. Did you like the video? Ah, you're pretty smart for a cat.